within the vicinity.
Is Kenya preparing for war? If there was ever a moment when many Kenyans began asking whether the country was gearing up for a possible conflict, it is during the 2026-2027 budget. The government has significantly increased funding to key security agencies, pushing national security spending to its highest level in recent years.
13 billion to cater for leasing of police motor vehicles, 7 billion for police modernization program.
While presenting the 2026-2027 budget in Parliament, Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi announced that the national security sector has been allocated 591.2 billion Kenyan shillings. That is a sharp increase from the 464.9 billion Kenyan shillings allocated in the 2025-2026 financial year and the 377.5 billion shillings set aside in 2024.
Amenitendea, amenitendea, Emmanueli, amenitendea.
So who is Kenya preparing to fight? Here is our report. It wasn't business as usual in Nairobi as Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi arrived at the National Assembly this Thursday, June 11th.
The Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, Honorable FCPA John Mbadi, EGH, you may now proceed with your afternoon job.
Flanked by a high security entourage, CS Mbadi carried what is arguably the most talked about, scrutinized and precious item in the country this week, and that is the official budget briefcase. Inside that small, iconic black leather case lies the entire financial blueprint for the nation, detailing exactly how the government intends to generate revenue and where every single shilling will be spent.
Mr. Speaker, it is my honor and privilege to present to this august House and to the people of Kenya the budget statement for the financial year 2026-2027.
The Treasury CS unveiled a massive 4.24 to 4.29 trillion Kenyan shillings gross expenditure plan. Now, this budget firmly anchors the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, taking direct aim at job creation, food security, healthcare, and housing.
And I want to turn to education. Education. Yes. Yes, I'm turning now to education. Improving education outcomes.
As expected, education walked away with the lion's share of the pie, swallowing roughly 16.4% of the budget at a staggering 702.7 billion shillings, a massive boost that includes funding for the Teachers Service Commission.
Mr. Speaker, Kenya's future depends on developing strong human capital. And to this end, we will continue to strengthen quality learning, training and research, promote equity and inclusivity, scale up investment in education, fortify the system against emerging technological and labor market shift, as well as fortify education to industry linkages, thus ensuring skills match demand. Mr. Speaker, I propose 784.5 billion for the education sector. Mr. Speaker, a lot has been said about defunding education. But in 2026-27, we are proposing 784.5 billion shillings, which is 26.4% of the ministerial budgets. Compare that to 2021-2022 budget, before this administration came into office. The budget for education was 526 billion shillings. That has increased now by 49%. And it was 24.5% of the ministerial budget. Now it is 26.5% of the ministerial budget. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is not correct that this government, this administration is defunding education. In fact, we are funding it more.
However, The talking point dominating conversations across the country tonight isn't education. It is the staggering amount of money being pumped into national security. The government has allocated a massive 591 billion shillings, equivalent to about 4.2 billion US dollars, to be split across defense, the police, and intelligence.
Now, improving security, which is of concern to all of us. Mr. Speaker, a safe and stable environment is indispensable for investment, trade, and economic growth. I therefore propose 252.1 billion for defense, 144.7 billion for the National Police Service, 64 billion for the National Intelligence Service, 63.9 billion for internal security and the national administration, and 42.6 billion for prison services. And these allocations strengthen national security and uphold the rule of law. Specific security interventions or investments include 13 billion to cater for leasing of police motor vehicles, 7 billion for police modernization program, 1 billion for construction and modernization of national forensic facilities. I have also proposed 3.9 billion for stipend to village elders for the first time, something that has been talked about for years, to enhance local administrative capacities, to appreciate. Thank you very much.
It is a bold and ambitious security strategy, one that looks impressive on paper. However, there is a problem. And the problem is Kenya simply does not have that money. You see, while the government intends to spend a record 4.84 trillion Kenyan shillings, the Kenya Revenue Authority expects to collect only 3.6 trillion from an already stretched public. That leaves a massive 1.1 trillion hole that must be filled through borrowing and other sources. In simple terms, Kenya is installing a state-of-the-art national security system while swiping an empty credit card.
I propose 30.9 billion to the energy subsector, including 7.5 billion for the national grid system, 20.2 billion for rural electrification, and 3.2 billion for alternative energy technologies. These allocations expand access, lower costs, and promote sustainable growth. But I wish to add that a lot of energy projects will be financed through National Infrastructure Fund because they are commercially viable.
While the government says the increased funding will strengthen national security, modernize forces, and safeguard development projects, many analysts are already asking, why such a massive boost in security spending at this time? With the 2027 general elections now coming into focus, analysts are likely to view the spending surge through a political lens. Because election periods have historically placed significant demands on the country's security apparatus, from intelligence gathering and border surveillance to maintaining public order and protecting critical infrastructure. Now, one of the most notable projects under the new spending plan is the creation of the Nairobi Metropolitan Police Unit, or NMPU. The specialized unit is expected to begin operations in July, following a cooperation agreement between the national government and Nairobi City County. According to the government, the NMPU will focus on smart policing, enhanced visibility through increased patrols, improved interagency coordination, and the mandatory use of body cameras by officers. Officials say the unit is intended to strengthen responses to emerging security challenges while improving cooperation between law enforcement agencies and the public. The initiative is also aimed at enhancing safety across Nairobi and its satellite towns, with authorities hoping to increase a more secure environment for residents, visitors, and investors. Ultimately, Kenya isn't preparing for any invasion by a foreign enemy. We are preparing for ourselves. As the country gears up for another hyped political season, the government is making sure that if the house shakes, they have enough boots on the ground to keep the roof from falling.